And choose a seat that allows your hips to relax and the knees to be a little lower than the level of the hips. Let the arms relax down by your sides, palms resting in your lap. And once you've arrived here, gently close your eyes. Starting to turn your focus inward. Connecting with the sensations that you're experiencing in your body right now. Noticing your physical energy level. And acknowledging your mood right now, and where your thoughts are. And then start to notice the movement and the sound of your own breath. The simplest tool we have to bring a sense of conscious awareness into the present, especially when it becomes overwhelming, the thoughts and where our mind can go right now. So bringing your focus to what is happening now in the body. You are sitting and breathing. Start to broadly expand as you inhale and more slowly contract as you exhale. Letting each breath in create more space and opening in your body. And each breath out allowing for more release and softening in your body. Keeping this quality in the breath, you can float the eyes open. We're going to start with a shoulder and chest opening, so if you'd like to use a strap, you can take that. If not, just clasp your hands behind your back. Roll your shoulder blades back and gently extend the arms, drawing your navel in and keeping the length in your lumbar. And gradually lift the arms up away from the hips, any amount. And if you like, you can gently look up, lifting the chin, stretching the front of the neck. One more deep breath in. And exhale, release. Good, place your left hand on the floor, inhale and raise the right arm. And then exhale, take a deep side bend, leaning over as you continue to root down through your right hip joint. Create space between your ribs every time you breathe in. And feel your side contract every time you breathe out. Good, push off that hand, inhale, reach up with both arms. Exhale the right hand down and side bend. Coming down into that elbow, reaching the left arm over the face. Good, root down through the left hip, stay connected to the ground or your support. And then push off of the hand, inhale, reach up with both arms. Exhale, float them down. Good, across your legs and extend the legs out in front of you. We're gonna put a little bit of space between the feet and keep the feet slightly bent. Hold the back of your knees or thighs and inhale, sit up tall. Exhale, fold forward, tucking the chin. You can slide your arms down and hold the feet or the heels. Try and let your upper body rest on top of the thighs. So if it doesn't, just bend your knees a bit more. Breathe into the back ribs, creating more space each time you inhale. Good. Inhale and roll up out of the fold. Good. And then let's come into table pose. You can move your support off the mat if you were sitting up on something. And come into the hands and knees. We'll just take some spinal waves. Inhale, lift the tailbone, chest, and chin. Exhale, tuck the tailbone and chin. Just go back and forth through both directions. Finding the whole range of motion in the spine. And the next time you exhale through the rounded back, hold there, spreading the shoulder blades apart as you send your spine up toward the ceiling. Bring your chin toward the chest. Good, and then release back to a neutral table pose. Walk your arms forward and press the chest and armpits toward the ground for half down dog. Lengthen the arms, pressing firmly against your palms. And keep your hips up over the knees. Good. Inhale, lift back up to table, planting the palms under the shoulders. Walk your knees back a little bit and bring the thighs together. We're going to warm up the shoulders and work on lowering through chaturanga. On an exhalation, bend the elbows and lower in one line to the floor. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. Inhale, return, strong core. Exhale, hips to the heels for child's pose. Do that a few times. Inhale, come up, shoulders over the palms. Exhale, descend. Inhale, push back up. Exhale, child's pose. Maybe 3 or 4 more rounds at your own pace. And try and keep the elbows right alongside the rib cage, especially when you're pressing back up. Really work the triceps. Good. The next time that you lower yourself down, let's stay down. Squeeze the shoulder blades together and the legs together and roll up to a low or a high cobra pose. And then let it go as you exhale. Twice more. Inhale, coming into cobra. Exhale to let go. Last one. Inhale. Exhale. Good, press back up to your knees, send the hips back and lift up to downward facing dog. Let the head and neck release. Good, and just pedal the legs a few times, bending one knee as you reach the other heel down. Starting to wake up the back of the legs. Or any other movements that feel good to you here in down dog. Good. From here, look at your hands. Lunge your left foot all the way up to the front. Coming up on the fingertips for a high lunge. Really lift that back knee and then take a twist. Right palm down, rotate and raise the left arm up. One more breath in. Exhale, take the hand back down. Press against the front foot and send the hips back as you straighten the front leg, folding the nose toward the knee. Modified pyramid pose. You're welcome to put blocks under the hands if this feels a little tight in the hamstrings. Good. Next time you exhale, return to your lunge, bend the knee, plant your palms and step to plank from here. Good. Squeeze the legs together, feel your spine lengthen, strong through your core as we hold. Deep, slow breath. Three more. Good. From here, lift up, downward facing dog. Adjust your feet. Let your head and neck release. Good. Look toward your hands. We're going to exhale, lunge the right foot all the way up. Good. Back knee is lifted nice and high. And spinal twist. Left palm down, rotate and raise the right arm up, squeezing the shoulder blades together. Good. Exhale, release that hand. Press against your front foot and send the hips back and up as you straighten the front leg, folding forward, nose toward the knee. And the next time you exhale, bend the front knee, returning to your lunge, plant your palms and step back to plank again. Squeeze the legs together, feel that one long line through the body. Three more breaths. Good. This time, exhale down through chaturanga, come all the way to the floor. Inhale, roll up to cobra pose. Exhale, release. Inhale, push up. Exhale, down dog. Good. Adjust your feet. Press back. The next time you inhale, look forward. Exhale, step the feet to the hands. Inhale, flat back position. Exhale, forward fold. Hold the back of the calves or the ankles and draw your ribcage to touch the thighs, even if that means bending the knees. Lengthen all the way down your spine. Good. Release the back of the legs. Inhale, rise up, reaching over your head as you stand. And exhale, release the arms. Good. Sun Series A. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, plank pose. Deep breath in. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, down dog. Stay here and breathe. On an inhalation, look forward. Exhale, feet to your hands. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, forward bend. Inhale, rise up, reach overhead. Exhale, mountain pose. Second round, inhale, begin. Exhale, dive forward. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, plank. Inhale here. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, down dog. 5 steady breaths. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, feet to your hands. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, mountain pose. One more round. Inhale, begin. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, plank. Inhale here. Exhale, descend. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, down dog. Good. In this down dog, walk your feet maybe 2 inches closer to the hands than you would normally take them. And then reach your right hand to the back of the left calf muscle or down at the ankle if you can reach. And kind of pull against that. And then resist that pulling by pressing the back of the leg against the hand. You should feel like you're spreading your right shoulder blade away from the spine. Really root down through your left hand, supporting the pose. And then release. Take the other side. Left hand is going to grab the back of the right calf muscle or slide it farther down toward the ankle or heel. Pull against it to spread the shoulder blade, and then push the leg back against the hand, resisting to increase the stretch. Good, and then take it back, walk your feet back to where you normally take them. Good, look forward, inhale, exhale, feet to your hands. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, forward bend. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, release. Good, Sun Series B, let's bring the feet together, starting with chair pose. Inhale and sit back. Exhale, dive forward. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, plank. Deep breath in. Exhale, slowly lower. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, down dog. Raise your right leg. Inhale. Exhale, step the foot through the hands, back heel down. Inhale, warrior one. Stay here and breathe. The next time you exhale, take the hands down. Inhale, step to plank. Exhale, slowly lower. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, raise your left leg. Exhale, step the foot through the hands, back heel down. Inhale, warrior one. Lengthening upward as you stay low in the front knee. On an exhalation, hands down. Inhale, step back to plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, down dog. Stay here and breathe. Let go through neck. On an inhalation, look forward. Exhale, feet to your hands. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Feet together for chair pose. Bend your knees, sit back as you extend the arms. And exhale, stand up. Release the arms by your sides. So just stand here in mountain pose for a few breaths. You can either look down toward the floor or close the eyes if you like. And just try and slow down your exhalation. Bring your heart rate down. Good. From here, we're going to come into revolved chair pose. So feet are going to stay together. Bend your knees and sit back again to chair. And then bring the palms together in front of the heart. We're going to twist to the right, crossing your left elbow to the outside of the left knee or thigh. And then really push down against your bottom palm. So the right hand pushes the left. Help that, or use that to help you rotate more up the spine. Good. Keep squeezing the legs together and sending the hips back in space. Good. Inhale, return to chair. Extend the arms. Exhale, hands to the heart. Twist to the left. Crossing your right elbow to the outside of the left knee or thigh. And then really push down against your bottom hand. Feel that rotation move up the spine. Good. Inhale, return to chair. Exhale, dive forward. Let it go. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, lunge your left leg back. Good. Bring that knee to the ground, low lunge. Point the toes and press the front of the ankle into the mat. Take a few breaths here, sinking down into the hips, feeling that deep stretch in the left psoas. The next time you inhale, rise up to low crescent lunge, lifting up through the spine, through the arms. And then bring the palms together in front of the heart. We're going to take that same twist. So turn to the right, cross the left elbow to the outside of the right knee or thigh. Good, and then really push your top hand against the bottom hand. Just a little more leverage to twist higher up the back. Good, deep breath here. Make sure you're inhaling fully. And then optional, tuck your back toes under and try and raise your back knee for the high lunge. Good. Last optional variation, see if you can open the arms. Left hand down, right arm up. The left hand's down outside of the foot, either on the floor or take a block. Good. If you open the arms, take the hands back to your prayer position. If you raise the back knee, let's gently lower it, and then we'll all release the twist. Take the hands to the floor. Good. Rock the hips back and just step that foot out of the lunge. From here, lift to down dog. Good. In this down dog, raise your right leg up into the air. And then open the hip to the side and bend that knee. Three-legged dog. Should feel like a nice stretch for the front of that hip, which was just flexed for quite a while. Good, and release. Take a deep breath in and look forward. Exhale, step the feet to your hands. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Let's just hang over the legs here for a few breaths. Again, hold the back of the calves or the ankles and bring your upper body to touch the front of the thighs Bend the knees if you need to. Nice long release down the spine. Good, let go of the back of the legs. If your hands don't touch the mat, bend your knees a bit more and lunge your right leg all the way back. And then bring that knee to the ground. Good, sink down into your hips. Let's point the back toes and try and press the front of the ankle against the mat. And then inhale, lift up to your low crescent lunge. Good, reaching up through the rib cage, up through the arms. And then for our twist, bring the palms together in front of the heart. Turn to the left using the strength of your core. Right elbow comes to the outside of your left knee or thigh. And then use your top hand to push down against the bottom hand. Feel that twist move up your spine. Glide your top shoulder blade back. Good, stay with that deep breath. Everything from here on is optional. So if you want to try and tuck the back toes under and lift that knee up, finding a high lunge position here. Last option is to open the arms. Right hand down, left arm up. Right fingers are on the floor or a block outside of the foot. Good, if you did extend your arms, take it back to the prayer position. And if you lifted the back knee, let's carefully bring it to the floor, and then we'll all come out of the twist. Hands down, rock your hips back in space, and step that foot out of the lunge. Good, plant your palms, and lift to downward facing dog. Let go through the neck. And then we'll raise the left leg up. Open the hip to the side and bend that knee. Few more breaths here in this three-limb dog. And then release, bring the foot to the floor, and then bring the knees to the mat. Let's take child's pose. Sit back on the heels. You can take your knees wide or close, whichever version you prefer. Let your arms and shoulders relax and close the eyes. Notice how you feel in your body right now. Bringing your focus back to your breath if your thoughts are elsewhere. And then lift up into table. So we're going to take a little stretch for the arches of the feet. This may or may not be some of your favorite pose. We're not going to be here very long, so just see if you can take a few breaths. In table, tuck your toes so that your heels lift up and bring your knees and the balls of the feet together. And then walk it back so that your hips come down to the heels. Take your hands to the thighs and try and sit upright here. So variation on hero pose. If this is really intense or painful, lean forward or just come out of it if your feet can really not handle this. Right? But if you're just feeling a strong sensation, try and breathe through that, becoming more upright as your body gets used to the position. Shoulders down and back. Good. If you haven't come out yet, lean forward, put the hands down, untuck your toes, and just sit back on the heels for a moment with your toes pointed, letting that stretch release. So So we're gonna take that once more, and we're not gonna hold the stretch this time. We're just gonna use that as a way to find balance on the balls of the feet, and we're gonna work on balancing on the balls of the feet in that hero pose, and then coming into chair pose from there. So you may have done this with me before. So when you're ready, come back to table, tuck your toes under so your heels lift, bring the balls of the feet and the knees together, and then rock back, but this time lift your knees so that you're now just balancing on the balls of the feet. Good, and now try and bring your hands to the knees and lift your upper body so that it's coming away from the thighs, nice and tall through your spine. And you'll probably notice a lot of motion in the feet, and that's okay. Right? Balance is not being completely still. It's about finding your equilibrium. So all those little stabilizer muscles are probably really active. Good. If you feel stable and upright, try raising your arms up over your shoulders and engaging through your lower back and core. Good. Keep squeezing the inner heels toward each other. Try not to let them spread apart. Good. To come to chair pose from here, lean your upper body forward, your hips back, and then just let your heels come down to the ground. Chair pose. Good. Stay with it a few more breaths. To return to our balancing hero pose, start to lower your hips, lift the heels, finding balance on the balls of the feet, and drop the knees as you bring your spine more upright. Good. If you need a break, feel free to come out. We're going to take this one more time. So if you're okay to stay with it, lean your upper body forward, hips back and up, heels come to the mat. Chair pose. Good, back to the balancing hero. Lower your hips, lift the heels up, find balance on the balls of the feet as you drop into hero, lifting your upper body tall. Good, everybody, release the arms, lean forward, put the hands down, walk it forward so your knees touch back to your table pose. Nice work. Let's walk the knees back and lower to the floor. I'm going to stretch those hip flexors from here. So let's support the forehead with the left forearm. Bend your right knee and reach back for the top of the foot. Quad stretch. Bending at the elbow to guide the heel closer to your hip. Good, nice deep low breath against the mat. And we'll take the other side, support your forehead with the right forearm, bend your left knee and reach back for the front of the foot or ankle, quad stretch as you guide the heel closer to your hip. Good, and release the leg. Take your forehead to the ground and plant your palms outside of the chest where they go for cobra pose. I'm going to have you widen your legs just a tiny bit and point your toes. Before we lift to cobra, squeeze your glutes and press the front of your pelvis against the mat, and then roll up to a high cobra, keeping the shoulder blades down and the elbows close to the upper body. Good, lift as much of your abdomen away from the mat as you can. Keep squeezing the glutes, and now bend your knees and point the toes together behind your back. Good, everybody. Lots of lift through the front of the chest. Take 3 more breaths if you can. And then let's roll the upper body down first. Nice and slowly release. You can turn your head to one arms relax, and just swish your feet back and forth like windshield wipers. Slowly rotating through the pelvis and loosening up the lower back. Good, let's bring the legs down and bring them a little bit closer together, about hip width apart. And put your forehead on the mat, bend one knee and reach for the front of the ankle or the top of the foot, and then the other, preparing for bow pose. Flex the ankles if you can and squeeze the shoulders back, and then press your feet toward the back of your mat as you lift your chest, coming into bow. Good, just like the last pose, really squeeze your glutes and hamstrings to help protect and support your lower back. One more breath in, and exhale. Slowly lower the upper body, then let go of your feet. Good, if you like, you can do those windshield wipers again, or you can just let your legs rest on the mat. Good, we're gonna try that one more time. Bring your legs a little closer together, forehead down, bend one knee at a time and reach for the top of the foot or the front of the ankle. And then the other, squeeze your shoulder blades together, and then press your feet toward the back of the mat, lifting the rib cage for bow pose. Deep breath. And with an exhalation, slowly release. Nice work, everybody. Let your shoulders and arms relax. Maybe a little swish of the feet side to side, or just let the legs rest. Good, and then lower your feet to the ground. Take your hands outside of the chest and carefully push up to your knees. Bring your knees forward and together and sit down on your heels slowly. Walk your arms over to the right side of your mat, creating a C curve in your spine, and then slowly lower down to a side child's pose. You should feel a nice long stretch down your left side from the armpit to the hip. As you inhale, breathe into that space. Good, walk your arms back to the center of your mat, and then over to the left side, creating a C curve in the spine, and then drop down, lowering your head. Breathe into that expansion on the right side. Good, and then rock it back to the center. And then lift yourself up out of child's pose. Good, let's swing the feet over to the right side and come down onto your left hip. So you're gonna feel a little bit off kilter for a moment, and that's correct. We're gonna twist away from the feet. So rotate your upper body, taking your hands to the floor, and just walk them as far behind you as you can, rotating from the belly button up your spine. One more deep breath in. And lean forward for table pose, and then kick your feet over to the left side. Sit down on your right hip. Good. Twist away from your knees and feet. So turn to the right. Take your hands to the floor and just walk them little by little toward the back of your mat, rotating from the navel up. Good, and then unwind. All right, let's swing the legs out in front of us, and we're gonna take a wide-legged forward bend. If your hamstrings or hips are tight, I recommend elevating your hips if you have a support. And we're gonna separate the legs open, heels pressing against the floor as the toes point up to the ceiling. So take a moment to adjust, finding that wide stance, and then sit up nice and tall. Good, engage through your lower back, draw the spine in. Good, and squeeze the muscles of the legs, contracting the upper thighs. When you're ready to fold, tuck the chin, lean forward, rotating from the pelvis, walking your hands out. Nice and slowly here, letting the pose evolve with your breath. We'll take at least 10 breaths here. If you like, you can close your eyes. Try and keep that strong energy in the legs the whole time. And when you're ready to come out, inhale, start to lift up. Walk your hands in, lift the spine. Good, we're gonna bend the right knee. You can keep your left leg extended out to the side. Bend your right knee, bring the sole of the foot toward your pelvis, knee open out to the side. And it's a variation of nose to knee pose. So normally we fold toward the straight leg with a rotation. Here we're gonna take a side bend. So you can let your left arm come out to the side, raise your right arm up, and then side bend down toward your straight leg. Sliding that hand down toward the heel, so you reach your right arm over your face. Deep side stretch. Good, keep rooting down through the right hip. Try and keep that knee open wide, down toward the floor. Good, inhale, rise back up, and exhale, release your top arm. Good, switch the legs, help to fold the left knee in, and extend your right leg out to the side, so a much more open hip position than our regular nose to knee pose. My left foot is right in front of the pelvis, sitting tall. Take your right hand out to the side and raise your left arm up, and then side bend to the right, leaning down toward the straight leg. Good, top arm is coming over the face, stretching away from that bottom hip. Good, and then inhale, rise up. Exhale, release the arms. You can keep your left knee bent out to the side. Let's bend the right knee out as well and join the soles of the feet together. Seated bound ankle pose. If you need to adjust your hips or your stance, go ahead. Hold the tops of your feet or ankles and lift up tall through your spine. Good, a couple of breaths here, finding length. And Good, tuck your chin and start to slowly fold forward, breathing deeply as you go. Good, when you're ready to come up, inhale and then lift the spine. Good, let's close the knees. Slide down off of your support if you were using that. And have you come down onto your back. We're gonna take a few reclined poses. Once you are down on your back, bend your knees, placing the feet underneath the knees, and you can open your arms out to the sides. We're gonna cross the right thigh tightly over the left, really tight. And then bring your knees into your upper body so the feet come off of the floor. And now lift up a little, reach forward and take your heels in your hands. And then lie back down, trying to bring the legs closer to the upper body. So a reclined version of cow-facing posture. Really press the feet against the hands and try and lift them up a little bit, keeping that tight cross of the thighs. Should feel a really deep stretch in the outer hip and glute of the leg that's on top. So for me, that's my right leg. If the intensity is too much, you can bring your heels lower. They don't have to lift up as much, right? Good, one more breath in. And exhale, lower the feet, let go of them, and uncross the legs. Just plant the feet on the mat. Good, keep your arms out to the side in a T position. Roll your hips and spine up just to a low bridge, enough to stretch the front of your hip flexors here. Not a huge back bend. Good, and then roll your spine and hips back down. Other side, cross your left thigh tightly over your right. Really squeeze the legs together. And then bring the legs into your chest. Lift your upper back enough to grab your heels with your hands. And then once you've got that, lie back down, bringing the feet closer to your face. And pressing the feet against the hands, lifting them up slightly. Reclined cow face pose. And you may find that this is easier for you to do reclined than seated. Some of us have difficulty with this leg position. We're sitting upright, whether it's for the knees or the hips. So a great way to work on this pose is here on your back. Good, when you're ready to release, let go of the feet, uncross the thighs and plant the feet down. Again, take your arms out to a T position. Roll your hips and spine up to a low bridge, just enough to stretch the front of the hip flexors here. Take 5 breaths. Straighten your left leg down on the mat and bring your right knee to your chest. And we're going to take our reclined hamstring sequence. So if you use a strap for this, you can take one. If you think your hamstrings are warm enough, you can try the big toe variation. So either grabbing your right big toe with your index and middle finger or setting the strap around the foot. We're going to straighten that right leg toward the ceiling. Right, I need my strap. Thought my hamstrings were loose enough, but not yet. So once you have the leg extended, use a really tight grip on your strapper with your fingers and pull the arms down, trying to connect the shoulders to the floor. Really root the left leg and hip into the floor to anchor your body. And then we'll take this out to the side. If you've got the strap, hold both pieces in the right hand and open your leg. Engage through your core to stay connected. Try not to tip over. Good, bring that leg back up and change hands. Right arm can relax and cross the leg over the hips any amount. And then lift the leg back up to the center. Bend the knee down toward you and let go of the big toe or the strap and release the right leg down. Good, shake out the legs against the floor a little bit, let go of some of that strong energy from the right side. And then we'll switch, bring the left knee into the chest and either take your toe lock or set the strap around the ball of the foot and extend that leg up toward the ceiling. Good. Root the left shoulder down toward the mat, pulling down through the arm. And then we'll take the leg out to the side, nice and slowly opening as you engage your core to stabilize the body, rooting the right hip and leg into the floor. And then take it back up, change hands, and cross the leg over the hips any amount. Good, bring the leg back up to the center, bend the knee and let go of the big toe or the strap, and release that leg to the floor. Shake out the legs a little bit, adjust the hips if you need to, and then let the legs completely relax out in front of you. Let your arms relax down by your sides, and let the body just melt into corpse pose, Shavasana. Take a moment to get really comfortable, letting the body settle. Close the eyes if you haven't already. And take a deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. Let your lower jaw release. And feel the tongue and the throat relax. And all the muscles in the face soften. Let go of any remaining active energy in your body and allow your mind to go to a quiet place. back to your breath. And take a few deeper breaths to cue your body that you're about to move. You can start moving the fingers and the toes when you're ready. Take any other movement or stretch that would feel good to you right now. And then eventually roll to one side, curling up into a fetal pose. And just pausing there briefly to notice how you feel. And then with as little effort as possible, come upright to a comfortable seat. Once you are sitting, start to breathe deeply again to bring some alert energy into the body. Feeling your spine lift upward. And then bring the palms together in front of your heart. We'll end our practice chanting Om one time. Taking a deep breath in. Om. Exhale and gently bow your head, acknowledging yourself for making time and space to practice today and expressing gratitude to your body. And thank you all so much for being here. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Hope that you enjoyed this class. Thank you, everybody. Thanks so much, everyone.
That was awesome. Thanks, Caroline.
Oh, you're welcome. So good to